14 minutes gone past 8. Once again, thank you for staying tuned to the frequency 92.3 Nigeria Info. This is the Morning Crossfire, and I am Kala Dakuru Basabo. So, yesterday, the news broke that PDP's new chairman, or should I say, factional chairman, called for international intervention, saying that there is the need for the US president to come save the democracy in Nigeria. Now, let's do a quick reminder of what democracy is. We've been told democracy is a government for the people, by the people, and of the people. And as I would usually go ahead to define, I would also say it's on top of the people, it's underneath the people, it's around the people, it is the people. And that's what we have been taught over the years that democracy is. We've been told that democracy gives us certain levels of freedom of speech, freedom of association, freedom to leave. And that gives the responsibility for the responsibility to the government to secure our lives and our properties. But since 1960, just like the song that I played not so long ago, we have continually grappled with the same set of problems. As a matter of fact, these problems have worsened. But let's listen to Tanimu Turaki, who is the PDP chairman from the Bala Mohammed Sheikh Makinde faction, as he calls for international intervention.
Not just genocide against Nigerian Christians. You should come and save democracy in Nigeria.
A lot of the adults we have in this.
So you heard him calling for, the saving of democracy in Nigeria. He said not just Christian genocide, and which reminds us that not too long ago, a few weeks ago, we saw the US list Nigeria as a country of particular concern, saying or claiming that there is Christian genocide in northern Nigeria. Now, that has caused a lot of debate across Nigeria and in the international society as well. And, for someone like me, I've always had the doubt about the U.S. intention, and I've always thought about it. Could this be another inroad for the United States into a country that has got a huge amount of natural resources? But the truth is, and the truth is before us, that there is insecurity in the north, that there is economic hardship in parts of the country, that the numbers as relates to poverty is on the rise or is very high. Maybe I should put it that way, very high. There is also, the talk about our debt portfolio. So when we look at these things and some of these issues that we've been grappling with for many years, I couldn't help but think, do we really need saving? And if you say yes, you then push me further deeply into thought, because I'm looking at the wonderful human resource that we have as a people. Nigeria is blessed with hardworking, intelligent set of people who, when they go outside the shores, they are very conspicuous in terms of their hard work, in terms of their success rate, in terms of their value to society. So really, are the problems, the myriad of problems Nigeria is faced with, insurmountable for Nigerians? Do we really need the saving of the US? But more importantly, in a democratic setting, and that's why I took my time to define it, in a democratic setting where the opposition is calling for the intervention of another country to save their democracy, What then lies ahead? And by the way, this is not the first time that we've seen the opposition call for international help to come save democracy. I started by saying government is for the people, by the people, and of the people. And when the people can no longer govern themselves and are now calling for help from outside, most especially the opposition, which is supposed to put the government in power on her toes, one can't help but think, which way Nigeria? Which used to be one of my favorite questions, by the way. Which way Nigeria? Of course, you've heard about the kidnapping in Kebbi State. 25 schoolgirls, I heard 2 escaped. You've heard of the Kwara Church incident, which mirrors the one that happened, was it in Ondo State a few years ago? The Owo Church situation. Of course, you've heard of the Brigadier General, where they could have been sabotaged in the rescue operation, which brings me to another conversation. Do we really just blame the leaders, or are we also saboteurs that are sinking this country, Nigeria? Are we also complicit as a people who we claim are not in the corridors of governance? There's so many talking points to this, conversation. But the one thing that has struck me and struck me deeply is the thought, are Nigeria's problem really insurmountable? Because since I was born, I've heard the phrase, Nigeria go better, Nigeria go survive. But are our problems really insurmountable? Or is it a situation of putting people who are not qualified in professional positions in governance? Is it a situation, like we like to say, of putting square pegs in round holes? So many questions this morning. So many questions. But are we really, after everything that we've traveled in this journey of Nigeria, from 1960 when we gained independence to different military and civilian rules, and then we eventually landed in democracy 1999, are we really incapable of solving economic hardship, insecurity in the northern and some states in the southern part of the country? Is it really insurmountable? And that's the conversation I want to have. But more importantly, which way Nigeria? Because it looks like even the opposition may not have the solution to the problem when they call for international intervention. I've got a commercial in a bit, but I want to start taking calls. So many questions on my mind this morning. And the reason I have not brought a guest is because I really, really want to have a conversation with you. This is me sharing my worries, sharing my thought processes. And, while we're arguing should the U.S. intervene or not, these things are happening even in worse patterns in northern Nigeria. Once again, 25 girls abducted, just like Chibok, just like Dapchi, right? A brigadier general. Do you know what a brigadier general is? He has between 1,000 to 6,000 soldiers under him, and he was sabotaged in that manner, according to reports, of course. According to reports. Because, for you to be a brigadier general, it means that you've got battalions under your command. Between 1,500 or 1,000 and 6,000 soldiers under his command. And he was killed. Just like that. So these problems And of course, there's the, while we put all the energy in arguing, is there Christian genocide or is there Muslim genocide, we should have been preferring solutions to the problem that has characterized Nigeria in recent years. So, which way Nigeria? That's the question I'm asking this morning. And it calls for a sober reflection, by the way. It calls for introspection as well. And I will take your calls after this commercial break. You can start sending in your WhatsApp messages for those of you who do not want your thoughts, to fade away. 0809 030 is the WhatsApp number. I'll be right back. Please do stay tuned. of the hour. We're still having a conversation here on Morning Crossfire 92.3 Nigeria Info. Kala Dakuru Bashbo in the studio. And I'm having my thoughts shared with you this morning. And it's a thought of worry. Because, I mean, the opposition is calling for help, not just any help, international help, when the opposition is the one that should be putting once again the government in power on her feet. Now, I understand that the PDP is not the only opposition we have in the country, but one of the most prominent oppositions that we have in Nigeria. And I'm thinking of the PDP again, and I'm thinking of what happened on Monday at Wadata Plaza in Abuja, and how the police, were fighting each other, and understandably so, because some had immunity, some had the power, of the minister, so they had to guard these wonderful individuals. Meanwhile, we were told that intelligence reports were given to the police, and they only went and did a drill on Monday and left the place unguarded by Tuesday. and once again, the Brigadier General comes into play. So I can't help but ask these questions. Given all of these anomalies happening in a society in terms of institutions that should be well structured and more powerful than powerful individuals, while all of these things are happening, which way Nigeria is the question I'm asking. Which way Nigeria? And some of you say, oh, the US should come. I don't still think the US is the solution, but that's my personal opinion, because it feels like using a problem to solve a problem, right? And if the US comes and even solves the problem, what happens when the US leaves? Let's even look at it from that angle. So many thoughts in my head, but I'm just going to open the phone lines like I promised. For those of you joining at this point, you're welcome. I would love to get your thoughts. 0817-923-0002 is the call number. Another call number, 0817-923-0003. And another call number is 0817-923-0007. But if you prefer texting, maybe you're busy and you could only text, this is the WhatsApp number with which you can text the studio with 0809-030-6416. I remember to keep your comments within the ambits of the law, because you could get arrested, by the way, for making treasonable statements. Just so you know, I needed to put that one out there. So let's ensure that our conversation is concise and also within the ambit of the law. Kevin Frank says, morning, Canada. The Nigerian government does not see life as what matters anymore. If they do, bandits wouldn't have their way to kill a general in the army. I'm afraid this is a strong signal that even the president is not safe. I heard the only defense by the government is to play blame game. That Donald Trump's outcry increased the bandit attacks. What a shame, he said. What a shame. But this one says, if you cannot arrange... I don't get your message. Goodness me. You said, man of the people, if you cannot arrange their home, someone else will arrange it for you. I mean, if you cannot arrange your home, someone else will arrange it for you. To be honest, we're not practicing democracy in Nigeria. As it stands now, we need external help, because it seems that our leaders have run out of ideas to solve the problems facing us. Politicians are not obeying court orders from Tangled Ability at Tuebu. But let's now go to the phone line to where Chima is calling from Rumukuta. Chima, good morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother.
Yeah, good morning.
Canada, we are having this discussion today because those that will have faith upon has lost faith. As a leader of this nation, we stand up and make such derogatory statement against a nation which he has benefited so much. Now, just as you have said it is true to actually have this problem that's like the insurgency and everything. But the idea of this washing our dirtiness on in the public, especially when it comes from those that we call our parents, it is alarming.
But do you blame them, Chima? Chima, don't you think we as a people also taking sides have enabled the deepening or the worsening of our problems?
That's how I'm making you understand now. That this is something that we can handle if it is not sabotage. And we look at everything as political. That is it. Now, if you have a solution, why don't you bring it? It's because it's not your party. Now, let me tell you, this is some scenario about this kidnapping of these girls some years ago. As happened some time ago when it was Jonathan. Just almost the same thing. 2 years again, they released again. Why is it that whenever it is for the South, all these things get to the high?
But it happened during it happened during Buhari's time as well.
That's what I'm saying. It's not as if it's happening now. That's why I'm saying that this man that made this proclamation should be arrested.
Okay.
And should be brought for investigation.
All right.
Because to me, it is still level and felony.
All right. Thank you, Chima.
Like that and call for foreign invader.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. While you say it's treasonable, there are arguments that the U.S. is like the world police, enabled by UN charters and all of that stuff. But let's not go to Elele, where Emeka is calling from. Emeka, good morning to you. Welcome on the show.
Yes, Canada, good morning.
Yeah, quickly, please.
My brother, the Tinubu knows the problem of Nigeria.
We all do know the problem of Nigeria, I think.
The president knows the problem. He knows the root. He will dictate the root of this problem.
Okay.
Right from 2014.
Okay.
He knows.
Okay.
He knows people that from those areas. He knows. They have mentioned people have also claimed that they are the one. The people are also working with him, allegedly.
Allegedly. I like how you put it allegedly because you do not have evidence to that effect, please.
Yes, he knows the people. They started this in 2014. He was aware. He was included. He knows. He starts on the route. The Boko Haram on terrorism.
So Boko Haram, first of all, Boko Haram didn't start in 2014. I just wanted to correct that.
That is what I'm telling you. They used it to destabilize Jonathan's government.
No. When you say they used it, what do you mean by they used it? Because that's a heavy allegation.
Under the Jonathan's watch. This Boko Haram to stabilize the government.
Once again, it didn't start during Jonathan's time. You know what, Emeka, let's not make allegations we cannot back up. Obed from Ada Judge, good morning to you, please.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Kalada.
Yeah, good morning, Obed.
Thank you very much, Kalada. Kalada, when the president started nothing his ambition, he told Nigeria something. And that thing is that he has his ambition not for about 3 decades. Now, Canada, you would think that somebody who have not his ambition for 3 decades, coming from that angle, should have known the problem of the country and to solve it. But to the amazement of everybody, this is where we are. People have the right to call for US. Even me, I joined on that call.
So are you saying in any way, Obed Chima, that we as Nigerians lack the ability to govern ourselves? Because that's what you're inferring.
All the vehicles point out to that fact that Nigeria is unable to tackle this problem.
So you're saying the likes of people. Oh my. Okay. All right, thank you, Obed from Ada Judge. But for those who are saying we lack the ability and the capacity to solve our problems, and our problems are insurmountable, except we, get external help. The question I want to throw at you is: are you saying the likes of Peter Obi, the likes of Atiku Abubakar, Rotimi Amechi, the likes of Bala Muhammad, Sheyi Makinde? What other opposition name have I not mentioned? The likes of Bukola Saraki, the likes of... help me with those opposition names in quotes. Are you saying they don't have the solutions to the problem? Are you saying that all the degrees that our leaders claim to have, I'm talking about the ministers, I'm talking about, those who will be ministers in the future, are you saying that they do not have the capacity to help change our society? And see, we need to leave politics now. We need to take politics away from our conversation. We need to forget who we are supporting or where we're from and look at this matter for what it is. Are we saying as a people, as educated, intelligent, hardworking, gifted that we are, we cannot solve the problems that are challenging our economy, the problems that are challenging our security, the problems that are challenging our, existence or coexistence as a people? I wonder. But let's read some messages before I go back to the phone lines. And this one says, "Good morning, Canada. In all that is happening, my happiness is that the unnecessarily traveling of our president to countries that are doing well to enjoy himself in the name of looking for investors. But at the end, instead of the so-called investors coming in, we hear borrowing instead has finally started back because of the intervention of another country. President, I don't get, Jimo, I don't get your message. You would have to resend it so I would understand it." This is one of the people. A brigadier general typically commands a brigade, which usually consists of 2 to 5 regiments or battalions, with a total of around 1,000 to 4,000 soldiers. The exact number can vary depending on the country and military structure. So, for such a powerful man to be neutralized in such dehumanizing manner, then the common man is in deeper trouble in Nigeria. No one is safe, said Gabriel Pedro from South Road. And this one says, "Good morning, Canada. The whole system have failed, courtesy of our greedy and arrogant politicians. We truly need help to flush out these bandits, but pride and arrogance will not allow our leaders to accept external help." Benner from Port Harcourt. And by the way, the Nigerian government says it does not need external help. It doesn't need US to come gun blazing, plane flying into our country. All right, 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, 0817-923-0007. Joshua Ubong from Transamadi says, "Kalada, did you read the Facebook post of His Excellency Peter Obi? He stated the actual facts of the state of our country. The present government lacks the capacity to solve our problems. A government that came to power just because it was his turn. Kalada, the present government is instead fighting for a second term, crippling the opposition." But then, let's for the sake of argument or debate or conversation, say that the current administration does not have the capacity. What about the opposition? What about His Excellency, like he called him, Peter Obi? What solutions is he preferring? Let's go to Bonny Island, where Christian is calling from. Christian, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Canada.
Yeah, welcome.
My pleasure. The truth is, we all know that this great country has never been in one thing. When you talk of good leadership and well-educated, sound mind, we have them. But the politics is so bad that, you see, when you are so polished and you see where filth and dirty people are giving upper hands to take over the affairs of the nation, you get irritated and you definitely want to be. You don't want to be reckoned with them. You don't want to mix up with them. That is the problem in this nation. We have them. Believe me, honestly. Sound mind, guys.
So that's the lack of political will then?
That is it. It's because of selfishness and tribalism. They know what they are doing. Like some of them said, Tinubu knows. Look at what they did with propaganda against Goodluck. This man, I think there's something about Goodluck that we refuse to understand. God is his nemesis. God is really punishing. He's punishing them. All Buhari and his followers, and Tinubu themselves.
But when you say God is punishing them, we are the ones bearing the brunt.
I'm going somewhere, please.
No, but I need to say something.
Where the source, the problem of
okay.
coming from.
Okay.
It's very important. We should know the truth. All the sacrifice of the minority of this country, the pollution, all what we've been exercising, enduring, just for this country to go forward and to be together. And look at what they are netting on us. The marginalization, the injustice. Our children are abused, our daughters are abused because of the presence of all these multinationals. Our environment is polluted.
All right.
And look at, they cannot, for the sake of love and goodness, let there be justice, fair play.
All right.
It just disorganize every system in this country.
Christian, I would have to go at this point.
Look at what they are doing.
All right.
They know what they are doing.
They know what they're doing. All right. All right. Thank you, Christian. They know what they're doing, you say. But let's listen to Aloze calling from South Road. Aloze, good morning to you. Welcome.
Man of the people, good morning. Thank
Yeah.
you for the opportunity.
Yeah, quickly, because we're almost out of time. Quickly, please.
Man of the people, we should no longer continue to pretend that everything is fine in Nigeria. Now, there are pertinent questions that is seeking for answer. These bandits, they have sophisticated weapons. They drove with kilos cars and some sophisticated missiles that a common man cannot buy. An illiterate cannot even, make use of it to exploit it to affect anybody. Now, the question we should be asking ourselves, who are the persons who are sponsoring this militancy? Are they living in the sky? Now, this so bandit and Boko Haram, their face is not hidden. Their faces are there. They live in community. They even operate from bush answer to the community to come and take what they are feeding and eating. They have family. See, the issue about this thing in Nigeria is a systematic issue that will need to start to overhaul our security agencies. The one that happened a few days ago, a brigadier general was killed and dismembered. He called for backup. Nobody called for his backup. So
No, they actually were on their way, but the soldier was intercepted first. That's by the bandits. That's what happened.
Canada, they were actually on their way.
So the report says.
What happens presently now? Who comes those areas, those bandits and those criminals?
Interesting question.
Is that day till now who has told us the stories that we have captured them? Do you know the problem we have in this country?
Tell me.
The minister per se, his child is not schooling in Nigeria. Their wife is not even in Nigeria. So these leaders are not caring for the citizens of this country. Because they are not directly affected. Somebody will come tomorrow morning and tell us that Mr. President is fighting insurgency, that the opposition is the one who is quelling this thing. Tinubu is working. Where is the result when Nigerians are being killed on a daily basis? All right,
Alozie, I would have to pause you at this point, but I get your point. Let's listen to Letten Barry quickly from Bori. Letten Barry, you're the last caller. Straight to the point, as precise as possible.
Good morning, Kalada.
Yeah, good morning to you.
In as much as I'm not happy with the situation, I think I would say that this whole problem of Boko Haram started during the administration of Olusegun Obasanjo.
So what's your point, quickly?
And they started with the idea that they don't want the Western education. And they go on influencing the people, the youths within the communities. There was a time I followed up this whole thing. They come up early in the morning in those towns and villages, and they will read the pamphlet, which is like what we call 7 Book of Moses, but there is a name given.
Well, so what's your point, quickly? What point are you driving at?
It was an opportunity for the then president to have called these people to a seat and discuss what is bringing about this Western education they say they don't want. And this man failed to have capped this situation earlier before now.
And you think Obasanjo did not do that? Do you think it did? I mean, you're taking it many years back. We're looking at what we are faced with now.
What we are facing now is as a result of one, the sabotage in the military is also responsible for this, because even when the military tends to, cap this situation or looking at the solution, there are those within the military who link information. You see that the soldiers are being ambushed. Because they already got the information of where the military will go through. So what I'm trying to say now is that I'm calling on the president to call the military chiefs to look at critical areas where these loopholes are coming from.
Thank you very much. I would have to take that one home on your behalf. Call the service chiefs. By the way, they just changed the service chiefs. But I do not have enough time. If not, I would have read so many other messages. I'm sorry, but I've got to go. My time for today is up. Hello, Pathako with Judah Mamegbe is up next. And please do stay tuned to 93.3 Nigeria Info. Kalada Kuru Batubor.